Mhm.
Good morning, Mr. Henry. Good morning, Mr. Henry. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What about you? Can you hear me?
Great.
Okay.
All right, we'll be getting started shortly. I'm still waiting for people to check in.
Okay. Hey, Will, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm sitting on top of the world.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
You know
Well,
what?
I'm. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No. You know what? I was dissing Mississippi, man. I should have dropped in
Yeah,
on you, but
Ron told me about that.
yeah.
Anytime you're in Mississippi, you got a bedroom you can sleep in.
I heard that. I got a place to lay my head.
Yep.
Yeah. But it was, it was homegoing. My auntie, 95 years old, she had a fantastic run, man.
Man, 95, that was good.
Yeah, that was a fantastic run.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
No doubt about it.
so it was sad, but not as sad as it could be, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, sure. Anytime you put that much time in, it's time to relax and go
Yeah,
home with your maker.
that's right.
It's time to join him. So
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, but
So
that's
she
good. That's a long life is a valuable thing to realize, man. It's really is because a lot of us getting out of here early, 40,
hmm
50, 60.
Well,
Yeah.
gentlemen, I hate to cut into your conversation, but I'm going to
Okay.
ask
All
you to
right.
put your mics on mute for a second till I can get everybody in here and I can get started here because I want to keep us on schedule. I'm going to basically introduce Mr. Yandu, and he's going to introduce Mrs. Sarah Note, and she from Innovation. And I'm going to then ask each one of you to unmic and introduce yourself. Basically, share with the speaker from our group what who you are and your company, and specifically anything else your specific needs are at this point in time. I think most of you have had an opportunity to look at the information on innovation, because I attempted to send that out to everyone. So we're trying to get everything on the road right here as quickly as possible.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, can you record this
Yeah,
session?
this has been recorded on YouTube. Will this is and it'll be up on the video as well as the meeting will be on my website as soon as we're
Sounds
over
good.
with. All right.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Yeah. Right. Brother Banks, I see you joined us here this morning. I hope you can hear
Yes,
me. All
I
right.
can. Yes, sir.
All right. We're just waiting for our people to get in here. Let me give him a call to make sure everything's correct there.
I see Mr. Shirley there.
Good morning.
We have to get together in reference to Ghana.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I'm getting ready to run over there the next few weeks.
Is that right?
There's some projects.
Go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
Okay, gentlemen, now he can't talk right now, Will, because we're
Okay.
being recorded, so we
Okay.
can have those discussions a little later. Let me try to get this thing
Offline.
started there. You offline.
Subscriber you are trying to reach is not available.
Could somebody, Will, could you please mute, please? Thank you. Yes, Mr. John Dew. Good morning.
Hello there.
Morning. Great. We can hear you. Got you here. I think Sarah will be joining us shortly. And while we're waiting on her, I'm going to go ahead and get the show on the road because we've got everybody here that's, I guess, going to join us this morning. First, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting edition of Solar Now and the Future with its economic impact on Black America. And I'm your host, Ronald Bethea. And you know, if you join us on a regular basis, the slogan for this show, if there's power in numbers, and the Positive Change Purchasing Corporative LLC serves as an economic blueprint for renewable energy companies, both large and small, along with increasing market share for African and African American owned renewable energy companies to address the high energy costs at our historically Black colleges and universities, to utilize Black-owned farmlands and HBCU campuses to develop capacity and initiatives for renewable energy projects to bring down the underemployment of young African and African American men and women locally, nationally, and throughout the diaspora. Also to educate the African and African American community about the economic impacts of climate change and the need for environmental education through Black Talk radio platforms such as Solar Now and the Future with its economic impact on Black America. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, if you join us on a regular basis, you know that the slogan for this show, if there's power in numbers, and the Positive Change Purchasing Cooperative captures that power for your financial benefit. Now, many of you who are listening to us will know today that we have some very, very dynamic individuals in the renewable energy sector. But unfortunately, because of the change of administration, there has been a litany of clawbacks by the Department of Environmental Protection Agency under the leadership of Zealand, who serves now as the head of the Department of Environmental Protection, EPA, under this new administration. There was a recent article which will help us set the tone for this meeting today, which was published uh, talking about looking at taking a deep dive at the manufacturing industry and the landmark legislation, which many of you are familiar with as the Inflation Reduction Act, which was the first executive order which President Biden signed when he came to office. Now, that set the stage for a number of things. U.S. companies continue to invest billions of dollars in clean manufacturing projects as they pursue lucrative tax credits offered through the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why this is such an important article, we're talking about an article that was dated June 16th of 2024. We're now in March of 2025. We're going to show you today on this call how there has been such a drastic change in policy and the impact it is having on it. Now, in the first year of the new law's existence, 39 states saw factories and other projects announcements worth some $86 billion. Since the companies have continued to invest amidst through the Biden administration, by the numbers, there were 362 new large-scale new clean energy projects announced in August of 22, which would have created 116,459 jobs. Number of jobs expected to be created by the IRA linked projects, they estimated would generate upwards to 132 billion. Total capital expenditures made in clean energy projects in the IRA was 132 billion. The percentage of total funded foreign-based companies tracking the spur of through the cross the states through the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, what I find very, very interesting about this, it shows the investment by state. North Carolina led the nation. It led the way. Now, it also broke down the investment sector by EV battery, projected to dominate, but it also broke down the sector. For wind projects were 23 projects, 3.9 billion. Solar, 85 projects, 16.2 billion. Hydrogen, 17 projects, 6.1 billion. Grid transmission, 19 projects, 2 billion. And transmission electrification, geothermal, 1 billion. One project, it didn't give the investment in that. Then it gave EV charging 151 projects, a total of 78.3 billion. Energy efficiency, one project, 68 million. And biofuels, which it did not break that down, but it also broke down this by region of the country. The South was the hub for this investment for EVs. It broke down Northeast 49, South 81, totaling 151, Solar 22, South 43, battery storage, none for the South. There were 32 in the 32 actually in the South. Wind 23 in the South. Grid transmission 18, and hydrogen 17, biofuels 1, energy efficiency, and geothermal 1. This is statistical data which was put out by EU. Foreign investments, you had South Korean corporations led the way with a total investment of 132 billion. South Korea corporations, you had 39 different corporations. Japan 32, Canada 20, Germany 16, China 13, India 6, Netherlands, Norway 5, Italy 5, Switzerland 5, Denmark, and it said 35 for the other. Now, what's important about this is the fact that all of this has been dampened, and in May of last year, $1.4 billion of construction projects were put on hold because of the rescinding of the E28 investment tax credit for manufacturing. Now, with that being said, how does that correlate into our conversation today? It correlates because we have individuals who have different financing needs. And I was privileged to meet this young man by the name of John Doe at the DOE's Energy Forum here on last Wednesday. I don't know if we will be joined with by Dr. Malcolm Fabu this morning. I'm hoping he will still be able to join us because he was one of the individual projects that I spoke to him concerning this around mobile carbon capture. And with that being said, I still don't see your partner, Mrs. Sarah. No, will she be joining us, or did she get the? Hopefully, she got the link.
Yes, she has a link, and then also just for correction, it's Yambo. That's my first name.
I apologize.
No worries about that.
I was struggling with the Yambo. Okay, so with that being said, let me sort of share with our listening audience, for those who didn't have an opportunity to go to your organization's website and sort of see what your organization is providing in terms of the services that it is offering. And I'm looking at your website, and what you do, you provide financing in the arena of sustainable aviation fuel, net zero nil complex,
Nil capex, net zero nil capex,
nil capex, and then net zero data centers. I'm very much interested in hearing something about that. Then smoke to value, then waste to value, and those were a number of the innovations. And people can go to your website at NNOVOV-net.0.com, and they will be able to find the information talking about the latest news, careers, and contacts, your partners and investors. So with that being said, would you step right to the, as we say, could you step right to the plate and introduce yourself, and then we will have introductions to those who are online.
Well, it's actually quite fitting there, quite timely, because my team with Lenovo are just now kicking off a rapid global awareness campaign about how heavy industry, including oil and gas, data centers, steel, petrochemicals, aluminum, cement, all of these could achieve zero emissions profitably, and hence why our motto, if you look at the logo, profitable net zero, that we're taking CO2, which is typically a waste product, and then converting that into products of value, like biocrude oil that can be refined into aviation fuel, fish and animal feed supplements, fertilizer, ingredients for common nutraceuticals and pharmaceuticals, like vegan omega-3, for example. So effectively what you're doing is you're enabling these industries to take all of their emissions and convert them from something that is a pure cost into something that's a value, hence why it could be doable with no capital expense at the emitter level, since all of these can be independently financed. And we are also, and this is actually where it plugs in the Gridmaster, we're also in parallel working with a range of systems integrators, taking scrap tires, so rubber, scrap plastics, and which are the two most difficult to recycle waste streams, and then convert that with zero emissions into fuel, pure carbon products like carbon black, which can be upgraded to graphite and graphene for a wide range of advanced manufacturing, and other industrial hydrocarbon chains and even pure hydrogen in certain cases. So what we're really about is fundamentally scaling up technologies that can take smoke and turn that to value, and well as take waste and turn that to value.
Okay, with that being said, while we're still waiting on Sarah, Mr. Michael Henry, could you unmute your mic and sort of introduce yourself and share some information about yourself and your company?
Sure. My name is Michael Henry, as you said already, Ron. Yes, I'm the CEO and founder of Gridmaster Energy. We've been in the solar arena since for 9 years, and this year we actually changed from solar to electricity. I'm considered the first black-owned. I always do this first black-owned stuff, but it is what it is. I'm considered one of the first black-owned utility companies on the planet with no walls, with no structure, no walls, and um, we use basic like my man just got to say, we use biomass to generate electricity. We build plants throughout the United States that will actually serve as electricity and diesel fuel, level 2 and 4 diesel fuel that can be used for cars and steamships and tractor trailers. And then we also create carbon credits. Our main, goal is to create, carbon credits, and we've been doing this now for since August of last year. We already have over 50 plants, 12 plants in California alone that we have already installed in operation as of this day.
Okay.
Right.
Mr. Shirley, you're on mic, so could you sort of introduce yourself and your company and what your some of the initiatives that your company, Sundial Solar USA, are involved in?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Will Shirley. I'm the president and CEO of Sundial Solar Power Developers. Our company has been in business since 2009. I actually bought the company myself in 2016. Since that time, we have changed the business model. We have expanded our opportunities. Now, the company has several opportunities in Mississippi and a large process going on in Ghana, in Accra, Ghana, where our offices are there. So we have an office in Accra, Ghana. We have an office in Jackson, Mississippi. In Jackson, Mississippi, we are seeking two things. We're seeking a co-developer partner and a capital partner in order to execute uh, uh, 3 projects in Jackson, Mississippi, and those the selected co-developer and uh, capital partners will also hopefully be involved in the Ghana projects. Now, let me just briefly explain these projects. One project that we have in Jackson, Mississippi is a behind-the-meter microgrid project that's going up on a ladies and gentlemen, I'm driving, so I have to kind of be careful. But anyway, that particular project funds the redevelopment of a old mall right in the city of Jackson, Mississippi. So that project is a 1 megawatt behind the meter microgrid project. The second project in Jackson, Mississippi is a community solar project, uh, property owned by a church, and we're looking for uh, the same for that project. That is a capital partner and a co-developer partner on that particular project. That project is a 2.5 megawatt uh, community solar project. The third project in Jackson, Mississippi a, is a behind the meter application for more than 60 facilities in the city of Jackson, owned by the city of Jackson. in Ghana, we're working with the University of Environment and Sustainable Development. That university, the mission of that university is just that, to create job opportunities, technology opportunities, economic development opportunities, all based on solar, uh, and all based on renewable energy. What's required in that Ghana project is the design, development, funding, construction, operations, and maintenance for a solar panel assembly plant, for a solar battery assembly plant, and a 15 to 30 megawatt solar farm that powers those facilities and powers parts of the campus. So we have completed an MOU with the university. That MOU is now being pushed up to the governing board of the university, which meets on the 19th of this month. And we're pretty certain, because we had uh, lots of input from faculty and staff on developing the MOU between Sundial Solar and the University of Environment and Sustainable Development in Ghana. And that means that we we are very confident that the signing of that MOU will happen directly after the governing board approves. So those are the projects and those are the requirements for Sundial Solar here locally in the U.S. and also in Ghana.
Okay, thank you, Will. Mr. Banks, could you please unmute? Unless he hadn't been able to, he had to leave us. Well, that being said, Yandu, would you please unmute? And I'm still looking for your partner here, Mrs. Sarah Nutt.
Know it, yes.
Know it.
But that's her. So I just gave her a quick ping. Hopefully she's able to join. And there's also a decent chance that Innovo's chief technology officer, Lawrence Culliford, he may also be able to pop in here briefly, since he's actually an expert for over 30 years. He's based in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And he's an over 30-year expert in solutions around turning waste into value. So it's very good that you have given a good overview around this.
Well, let me share some other information, because I spoke with Dr. Malcolm Fabu, and you have seen his information on the mobile carbon capture. He did indicate to me that he would have a conflict and he would try to rearrange, because we originally were trying to do this on this past Wednesday, and it simply didn't work out because of some of the scheduling issues. We're trying to get some of the gentlemen that are on today. They were in travel, but Dr. Fabu is based here in Germantown, Maryland. I've had the privilege of having him on this platform. I've also had the opportunity to have him as a guest of the Greater Washington Clean Cities Collaboration Group, which is headed by Mr. Antoine Thompson, who did an interview with him and Dr. Nima, who's a tenured professor at Purdue University. He has come up, his company, he has two different companies. One does something called mobile power grids, where they built and design a system which has a miniature wind turbine about the size of a freezer, with a 250, I think it's 250 kW mobile power grid that can be set up. But it fits in the back of an 18-wheeler in the tractor park, a trailer park, and it can be moved by tractors. So that application was done for military purposes, which he has won numerous awards for this and received federal funding. And what that has done is given military as well as municipalities that are in what we would call East Coast, West Coast, or where we have a tremendous number of tropical storms. When these storms hit and it knocks out the power, you're able to pull out that mobile power grid and power that facility or that hospital or that shelter in an emergency situation. The other company is called 24n.net. They've come up with a new technology for EV battery charging infrastructure where the one charge provides 1,000 miles before you would have to recharge that battery on that EV. Now, all of this can be seen. I can send you the video and you can watch the technology. What is very unique about what they have done, they've taken the lithium iron out of that EV battery. And it's similar to, if people remember how people used to run off things in a mimeograph machine, you have layers that you put down and you sort of run off. That's how they've designed this battery. And they can actually send that battery for you to be able to change that battery. They can actually meld the inner makings of that battery directly to the consumer. It's very, very interesting, much lighter, and it prevents fires that you have with electric vehicles. So with that being said, I see you raising your hand.
Just very quickly, please note that Lawrence, he said he's in the waiting room now.
Okay, I'm admitting him right now. Okay. We have Mr. Lawrence W. Guilford.
Culliford. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us on such short notice. As I was indicating to Yanbu, that Dr. Malcolm Fabu, who has the mobile carbon capture, had a conflict in his schedule, and we will be able to, if you haven't had an opportunity to see his presentation, we will get that information to you. I'm very, very excited about what he is doing. We are also working with the Dr. Nima at Purdue University, who has come up with some very, very exciting solutions to combat climate change and the crisis as it relates to working on the continent of Africa with those remote villages that don't have the grid infrastructure to reach them. With their mobile power grid format, because they're able to transmit those that electricity without using any form of electrical grid wiring. You don't need a grid structure.
Now, wireless transmission.
Wireless transmission. And Dr. Neiman's organization has patented, and they are working on the continent presently. They are working in the Arab nations as well with the nations of China. So it's not something that isn't already being used in the international marketplace, but here domestically, he was looking for a manufacturer that he could license the patented patents for the battery infrastructure as relates to the EV battery that they have designed, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for companies that are in that arena who would be interested in partnering and building the manufacturing facility. He's not interested in going into building factories and things. That's not what they do. But I think that it's a very, very, very innovative and something that's very, very needed. So with that being said, Mr. Lawrence Clifford, I would
Culliford.
excuse me for changing your parents' last name, but if you could, if you would,
At least
please,
my dad. Yeah.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you would, please sort of share some information on your background and what role you played with Innova.
Okay, so Lawrence Culliford, I'm up in Montreal, Canada, electrical engineer by trade. I've been involved in novel energy technologies for the better part of my life. I worked in military programs in different countries for years. I'm CTO at Innova, so I'm Chief Technical Officer. I've been in the pyrolysis space since 1995, so that speaks to my age. I'm 71. And I've got quite a bit of expertise in novel energy production, power production, magnetic distribution, all this good, beautiful stuff. So I bring a lot of expertise to the table in all those sectors, and I'm here to learn a little bit more about Gridmaster Energy.
Okay.
My quick assessment is I need to know more.
All right. Well,
How's
with that being said, would Mr. Michael Henry please unmute and share some more information for this gentleman?
Absolutely. Now, I'm probably at a disadvantage. We might have to do this another time because
Okay.
I had to bring my engineer on board. My engineer has a degree in thermodynamics. He's also an electrical engineer. He's also a business major. And so when it comes to all the technicals, I have a subject matter expert. But however, I can tell you that we are in the pyrolysis arena as well. One of our engineers actually invented the pyrolysis machine 12 years ago, and he was working with DARPA, United States, invention company, and he was actually the chairman of DARPA. And then he broke away from that, and this last year he decided to invent a new pyrolysis machine. It deals with carbon credits in electricity. We have a machine that can generate 4.8 megs of energy a day.
That depends on the feedstock and what the volumes are. That corresponds to that 4.8 megawatt. So
yeah,
there's a lot of parameters that come. Like I have
the
to let you know, I've only got
the feedstock is biomass. We don't use tires. We don't use plastic. We use
biomass to get 4.8 megawatt. You're going to have something like 10 ton an hour.
Yeah, it's running like 6 ton. And like
There
I
you go.
said, I'm at a disadvantage because my
That's
engineer,
okay. It's all good.
my engineer will go toe to toe with you and explain exactly how our system is able to produce. We have several systems up and running right now.
Okay.
We just had a big order from California. We just put 12 machines in California in the last couple of months. We have operations in Texas. We have operations all over the United States, and we're using biomass. We don't use tires. We can use tires, and we don't use plastic. And we able to create diesel fuel, level 2 and level 4 diesel fuel. And the most important thing is the carbon credits. And so
no, I appreciate that. By the way, I've only got 22 minutes because I do have an 11 o'clock call scheduled, so we can reconvene at your convenience after that. But
well,
yeah, so so if you want to know nuts to nuts, then like I said, my engineer would be more than happy to
sure.
Mix it up with you. But we had this system and we've been using it, so it's not a make believe situation. It's actually reality.
Well,
have you got a quick deck you can present just so I can see a little bit of what you're doing? Maybe 5-6 slides. Doesn't take much.
Well, why don't I do this? See, I don't want to get into this conversation with you because I know how these conversations last. I talk to scientists and engineers all the time.
No, I've only got 21 minutes, so it can't last long.
Let me do this for that purpose.
Before we go anywhere, Young Boy, have we signed any NDAs with these gentlemen?
Still a pre-NDA.
Okay. Good.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Michael Henry has a video that he can send, and I will get that information. We'll make sure
Well,
we
not
get that.
necessarily. Ron, don't do that, because you know
Okay,
what?
okay,
You
okay,
want to play
no
this
problem.
game about NDAs. Let's play the game about NDAs. You know,
Oh.
I'm not interested in sharing anything at this point, unless he do sign an NDA.
It's for
Okay.
your it's for your protection more than
And
mine.
as well as yours, as well as
Yeah.
yours. I'm a businessman, so I'm not. You don't have to talk to me like that. I'll send you an NDA, and you send me one of yours, and we can work like that.
Well,
Okay.
we do a mutual NDA. It's good for both. Right?
Well, I got a
Okay.
mutual one too. I have a mutual one too.
Yeah.
So
We can
So
consider
that-
we're under NDA. That's not a problem. I just want to address the matter because I know it's important for our group, right? So
Okay. With
Well,
that being said, one of
we're
the
under
things
virtual NDA right now, is what I'm saying.
I understand, I understand exactly what you're saying, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is that relationships are built on trust,
Not
and
just
what,
trust, an
yeah,
opportunity.
and well, opportunity. That's what I was addressing, sir. I was addressing the fact that Mr. Henry has a working relationship with the National Association of Black Farmers.
Like that.
So what we're talking about, we're not talking about anything that's small here in terms of numbers. Mr. John Boyd has a national organization, and there will be a great deal of opportunity coming from this. That is one of the reasons why I was trying to get him on with Dr. Fabu with his company with the mobile carbon capture. So as I've indicated. So with that being said, is there anything else that you would like to at this time, Mr. Guilford, to say in terms of what you would need from any of our other the other company members here, the other people on the call here?
So you mentioned you have a mobile unit. Okay.
Yes.
So a mobile unit that can do anywhere between 2 and 6 tons an hour, even if we take something like, for example, walnut shells, which are nice high density material fully available in California, big time. Okay. And you could probably get to maybe 2 to 2.5 ton an hour on something that's going to be, you can hook that up to the back of an F-350 truck because he needs a certain amount of torque to pull this thing. Okay. And it'll probably be about 40 feet long, if my memory serves me right, just on what's required from a diameter size, a throughput, and output, right? And being able to put on a generator that can handle that kind of power, that's a significant generator. Besides, they're not that available these days, but that's another kettle of fish, right? Maybe 5 megawatts are pretty available, okay? I know because I'm sourcing a lot of material for projects like this, and the turbines, forget it. The gas generators at 5 megawatts, yeah, they're about 6 to 8 month delivery right now. So we're looking a year down the line before we can deploy anything. But I'm very keen on seeing your throughput, your efficiency, your compliance for the environment, because that is a very important part, is the compliance with the environment, what you do with the carbon, who are the buyers for the carbon. Some of it goes right back into agriculture. I give you that 100%. It's actually very good for agriculture. But there are many other applications for the carbon, the bio oil, the wood vinegar, all these things. The syngas, obviously, you have to push a lot of syngas to make that kind of power, by the way. Knowing more or less the calorific value and how much gas we need to produce that kind of power. I do have the pleasure of having been involved even in the biomass section for the last 5 years with several companies. And what the numbers I saw, the 1.5 million, I don't know what that corresponds to, by the way, the $1.5 million price tag. I don't know what that gets you. Does that get you a mobile unit? And what's the capacity of that mobile unit for that price point?
Well, that question, you're directing that question to Mr. Henry?
Or whoever has the answer.
Okay. Well, Mr. Henry would be able to respond as it relates to the equipment that his
no, that question is not related to me. He's
Okay.
talking about a battery. I don't do batteries right now.
Okay.
No, mobile unit. The mobile unit that
mobile unit.
processes biomass.
It's not a mobile unit. I don't know what a mobile unit.
I
Well,
was under the impression it was a mobile unit. My
no,
apologies.
no. The mobile power grid is
Hmm.
a unit that is put the Dr. Nima from Purdue University. It is their technology, their application. They have contracts with the military that they've been utilizing with the mobile power grids, and they have a technology that they created also for electric batteries. They've created a new electric battery that provides 1,000 miles per charge, the EB24. I will send you the link, or Yandu can send you the video and you'll be able to see that, and I can get you that. I will provide his direct contact information so you can contact him directly. So any questions that you may have, because we were met last Wednesday week. I didn't have a lot of time to pull this together, and I was attempting to try to get Mr. Dr. Michael Fabu, who has the mobile carbon capture, which he has designed and he has a patent on the filter where he's able to capture about somewhere a little over 90% of the emissions coming from the engines of any combustion engine.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he's also designed that for 18 wheelers. Now his application is he's trying to, our business model rather, is to partner, and he's several years out, and he's looking for capital investment around $5 million. But he was looking at signing an agreement with an organization such as a Jiffy Lube, where people can take their vehicles, have the unit installed, and take it back once that filter is saturated and have it changed. They go back and collect that carbon from those outlets. Then they have a purification of that carbon. Then they sell that carbon in many applications. Some goes to the food industry, a large share of that for the fizz in your soda. When you open
CO2,
that
to make
CO2,
the CO2, yeah.
to make that CO2.
Food grade CO2 production, yeah. Absolutely.
Food. And then they are working with perfume companies that when people raise that arm in the morning to get that chemical out that can for that that smell, well, that CO2, it ain't coming out without the CO2.
That's right.
Those are some of his applications for what he's attempting to do. Unfortunately, he had a conflict this morning, and he told me that. So I didn't expect him to be here this morning because we were originally scheduled this call for this past Wednesday. And as I've indicated to everyone a little earlier before you came on, because some folks who were in travel, I wanted to definitely have Mr. Michael Henry to be here because he, in fact, is working in that paralysis and biofuel industry. So you have any questions for this gentleman, Mr. Shirley?
Hold on a minute. Say that again, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, for today, we're not at our National Association of Blacks in Solar meeting where I am chairman of the board. So that's why Mr. Will keeps referring to me as chairman. But anyway, do you have any questions for this gentleman, Lawrence?
Not at this point. Not at this point. Basically, I've kind of put out what our organization has as projects and our requirements that we need to go to move forward.
No problem.
Ron, if you don't mind, I just sent my scientist a link over to this event.
Okay, let him in right now. I think this gentleman is coming on right now.
11 minutes. And then I'll capture.
It only take a few minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Dwayne?
Yes.
If you could unmute, well, welcome to the platform of Solar Now and the Future with its Economic Impact on Black America. You're online with Mr. Lawrence Clifford and Mr. Yandu. They are in innovations, and they're in the area of biofuel and biomass, and their company's innovation. And with
Innovo.
that,
Yes.
Innovo Net Zero.
Right.
yeah, Innova Net Zero.
Okay.
So Dwayne, introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah. My name is Dwayne Dundora. I have a PhD in thermodynamics and actually been building energy equipment for a long time. I think probably about 30 years. So
There you go. Nice to meet you.
So this gentleman, Lawrence, has some questions as to how
Sure.
our machine can produce electricity, using biomass so can you kind of give him a scientific view of how our machine can produce electricity, 2.4 megs, 4.8 megs a day?
Sure, I can do that. So we build the basis of the machine is actually pyrolysis. And it works a little different because we do monitor the oxygen control fairly well in the system. A lot of pyrolysis systems kind of like throw it in there hoping that it's going to monitor it. We came up with a method to be able to control the oxygen inside the unit itself. Sometimes we may use syngas to purge it, but most of the time it's under vacuum the whole time, actually
We're working under vacuum. Okay, that's a good
yeah.
point. Thank you.
So which is different because normally we're running about 0.02 percent oxygen in the thing. So once it gets above 5, it actually sends out an email to the operator, tells them that it's at 5. If it's 10, it shuts the machine down because then we know either we have a leak or we have too much moisture in the system. So from there, basically, we take the pyrolysis oil, and we do it 2 different ways. But typically, we take the pyrolysis oil, we distill it, desulfur it, decolor it, and deodorize it. We use like a modified distillation system on that. We actually have a separate system for desulfurization, and then we use ion exchange for the color and the odor. And then from there, we basically run it into a modified generator where we actually are taking hydrogen, mixing it with the oil, and then we actually take that, go into the generator. We produce power. Now, we do that a little differently because a lot of times a lot of people then put switch gear in between there and kind of divert it back and forth. We just take it right from there and run it right into the sodium ion batteries. And then we charge it up. Then we use the inverter on the back end. It cuts out a couple $1,000s. And sometimes right now it's hard to get switch gear, because of all the data centers that are being built. So we kind of eliminated that. The other method that we do, which I do not like as much, is basically taking the syngas and we run the temperature up closer to like 900 degrees and see. And really, what we're doing is dissolving the carbon, turning it more into syngas, and we run the syngas through a hydrogen fuel cell and turn it. When you do the math between those 2 methods, normally turning it to diesel is going to be you're going to get more energy out of diesel than you will out of the syngas. Because we both know like syngas is like saying the color blue, and if you look at the blue, light blue might have a little bit of BTUs, dark blue might have a lot of BTUs, and syngas can be anywhere in between, those colors. So
Dwayne, you don't know, but I have to jump off in 7 minutes, so I want to get the 25-cent tour. But
Okay.
I think we need to reconvene and discuss technicalities because, for example, why aren't you stripping the carbon off of the gas and just going straight hydrogen?
That's what we can do. We have done that, but
it's worth a lot more money if you could turn that into carbon nanotubes or graphene.
So we do have a process of actually turning the biochar, not the carbon black, but the biochar into graphene. We actually have
that. I'm keen on that.
We have a system to do that right now. So
beautiful. We'll compare notes.
Okay.
Always good. That's why I asked about the NDA before, because I'll be exchanging a lot of good information with you guys, and I just want to have everybody happy that we're we understand we're working together here, not against each other.
Yeah,
Right? So,
and we've really focused on tires and biomass because of sometimes with the way we do it, now is that plastics and a lot of trash convert differently, and we end up with a lot more solvents that, and our system, we are working on some new technology to be able to do that, to convert it to an ASTM fuel. But right now, it's very difficult to turn plastics into an ASTM fuel in most cases, doing it, this way. So
yeah, there's different ways, but we can
yeah,
maybe share some information there.
yeah,
We may
yeah,
have some tricks for you, and you may have some tricks for us. This is what I
yeah,
like about
yeah.
this is
And
what I like
like,
about JVs, right? And getting to know people and getting to know
yeah,
technologies. It's nobody
right.
knows everything, and even AI doesn't know everything, and it
No, not at all.
confuses a lot of people. It makes them believe that there's something going on, but there's not. So we got to be
Yeah.
very careful about some of that. And,
Okay. So did you have other questions?
no, so far I like what I hear. I'll
Okay.
love to see a demo for sure.
Yeah.
Where have you got this operating? Just out of curiosity.
Our demo plant is in Orlando, outside of Orlando,
Orlando.
Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
easy for everybody to get to. Everybody likes going to Orlando for a day.
Yeah, I've actually I have to go back down to Florida. I have to go to Ocala, which is not that far. And
Ocala?
here's my reminder. I got 5 minutes to jump on my next meeting. In Ocala, I
Okay.
do micronization down to submicron particles using resonant frequency milling. At
Oh,
4 ton an hour, we'll get up to 12. We'll get up to 12 ton an hour very soon with version 2 coming up.
okay.
And
Yeah, I'd
for
like to talk to you
150
that.
kilowatts, it's beautiful stuff. It could be very useful for what we just talked about a second ago.
Yeah, yeah, it would be. Like I said, we've tried all different, we have different methods. The unit that we have here, you'll see is actually was modified for doing the hydrogen, separation. So
Yeah,
we do
I
have it.
like that.
We have like, this one has things like filtration on the syngas, it pulls out about 3 microns. It goes down to about 3 microns. So pulls all the
Good.
trash out of the syngas and things like that. So, and it's a small system, so we can run, normally our systems are like 3 tons, 5 tons, then we jump to 50, 100, and 150. And
Ton a day? Ton a
yeah,
day or ton
ton
an
a day,
hour?
yes, yeah.
Ton a day.
And
Okay.
then we have a new one that's coming out, which is a 3 ton per day trailer mounted system. And for a lot of, like we actually are developing it for Fish and Wildlife in California. So for them
Nice.
to move around to where they're pulling brush up and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw something similar. Biochar Now was interested in one of those platforms. They were
Yeah,
going to buy the licenses for it. I'm not sure where that's going. I
yeah,
don't
I
know
don't know.
if you've had the chance to meet with
Yeah.
them, but
No. So actually, I actually was the one that did the algae to jet fuel project for DARPA a couple years ago.
well,
And
we have a
this,
very large program on algae to SAF jet fuel, right?
yeah,
Kerosene.
yeah,
And we can talk more about that
yeah,
because that's one of our core focuses on the algae space.
yeah,
And I want to see this guy who plugged in something in the back of a muffler use the algae.
yeah.
A
So
little bit like what you were talking about before with
yeah,
the for the trucks. And they
yeah,
literally take this thing, you can regenerate it, right? And
uh,
it's interesting to see what we can do and reduce the
yeah.
CO2.
The thing
Right?
about, like I said, with that, we actually, we made about 20 liters of jet fuel for them, and
Okay.
that was, and a couple, like I said, it was, and then we built systems for General Atomics and DARPA, General Atomics and SAIC as well to do similar stuff,
Can
but
we reconvene at 1 o'clock? Any chance you guys are available at 1 or
No,
maybe 3?
well, I won't be able to reconvene today. We will have to schedule another
Let's schedule
time.
something, but I'd like to have a little more time, gentlemen,
No,
because as you can see, we get into some very interesting
I,
details here.
I
But this could go
understand.
on for quite a while.
I understand that, and that's what we don't have.
No,
What I
let's
want, what I'd like to do, we can I will get if Yandu,
yeah, Youngbo will coordinate this. Okay.
he can coordinate this,
Yeah.
and we can do that. That's not a problem. But what I want to do is make sure when I do this, I'll be able to get Dr. Nima as well as Dr. Michael
Perfect.
Fabu on that particular call, because
Perfect.
this today for me, as I've indicated, would be an introductory type meeting so we could sort of share who we are and meet each other and sort of talk about this. Because as I opened this meeting up, I was talking about the impacts of the revisions of the elimination of the investment tax credits by this administration versus Biden and Harris administration, and a lot of companies are basically sort of caught between a rock and a hard place because
Mr. Chairman, I apologize. I have to jump, but do
No
continue,
problem.
and I'll
No
catch up with
problem.
Yangbo. Nice to meet everybody. I'm so sorry not
Nice
to
to
be
meet
able
you.
to
No
stick
problem.
around.
No
No, that's
problem.
okay.
You have a
Cheers.
good day.
You too,
All
guys.
right. Thank
Bye.
you very much. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. With that being said, Yanbu, is there something that you would like to share more? Or is there more information you would like to share at this time?
Well, I think we've covered it pretty well. So
Okay. All right. With that being said, I'll be back in contact with you. We can set this up after I've been able to coordinate and reach out to people. And I'm going to give this a couple of weeks so people will, because everybody I know is as busy as we are. Okay.
Right.
Everybody's busy. So with that being said, then I will put together a written agenda and we will deal with very y'all can deal with the very specifics that you need to deal with. So this will be profitable for everybody with taking their time to be a part of this meeting today. And with that being
Mr.
said,
Vite, Mr. Vite,
yes, sir.
this is Will Shirley again. So what I'd like to do is be a part of these meetings going forward, because the technologies that these gentlemen have should be should have a chance for implementation, like in some of our Ghana projects, and
Well,
I'd like to be involved in that.
it's not a problem, Will.
Hey,
Not a
Will,
problem.
Will, could you give me a call afterwards, after this call?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up, Will. Hit me up.
Okay.
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 All right. With that being said, gentlemen, I want to thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to be a part of this meeting today. And with that being said, you gentlemen have a wonderful day. And thank you once again for joining me on the platform.
I think do you have a question?
no, just
Oh,
Oh, you
okay.
just waving. You just
Oh.
waving.
No. I saw him raise his hand. I was getting ready to ask him if he had another question for you, Dwayne. It's been a pleasure of meeting you. I'm very excited about what you are doing with Mr. Henry. I think that we will be able to assist in the financing area. I've already provided Mr. Henry with some other options also, so he has that information. So he'll be getting in contact with you on that.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Well, then I'm going to jump off the call because I have another call coming in. But nice meeting
Understood.
everybody. And whenever you want to reschedule it, I'll make myself available.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
All right. And thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Shirley. Thank you, Mr. Henry.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you. And I'll be giving you a call also, Michael, as soon as I get off this call. All right.
Okay, yeah,
All right.
both you guys, I'm looking, because we got I would love to. Yeah, just jump off the call and give me a call. Okay,
All right. All right. Y'all have a blessed
Miss
day.
Henry,
Yes, yes.
I just arrived on a site. I've got to get some things done out here. Give me about an hour or so. I'll give you a ring back.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Thank you.
gentlemen. Everybody have
All
a
right.
blessed day. All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this particular broadcast today. I was fortunate in being able to host this today here on the platform of Solar Now and the Future with its Economic Impact on Black America. But I'd like to share some other information with my listening audience while I am still on the air here on the platform of Solar Now and the Future with its Economic Impact. Remember, this show is brought to you by the Positive Change Purchasing Corporate LLC, and you've been listening to the following webinar over the online digital the Positive Change online digital podcast radio TV network. But under our news and events here at Positive Change PC, which you can log on at by logging on to positivechangepc.com, you want to go to our news and events tab, and under our news and events tab, you will be able to look at a number of very, very interesting articles that we're going to go through very, very quickly here before we close out. And that will be the Public Service Commission warns the WGL spending raises accountability. Digital news communications that provides all of the legislative policy that is going through Annapolis here in the state of Maryland. So you'll be able to find out about bills and everything else that are going on in the state of Maryland by looking at relevant legislation that is being proposed or has been proposed here in the state of Maryland, and it's called Policy Watch. It is put out by the Maryland Clean Energy Center, which is the green bank, which monitors activities throughout the sessions, looking for legislative relevance to our mission and their interest in advancing adoption of clean energy products, services, and technologies here in the state of Maryland. So that information you'll be able to find under our news and events tab, as well as under our news and events tab, you'll be able to look at the explore job opportunities which have been put on by the Greater Washington Clean Cities Collaboration Group. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you can log on to positivechangepc.com. Please log on to positivechangepc.com, and we will be able to provide more information and lead-ins concerning relevant and applications and how we can help people save on their gas, water, and electricity bills. Because when it's all said and done, we are all being affected by the activities that are going on in the Middle East, which everybody's quite aware of, and its impact on the cost of natural gas and oil, which drives the prices of everything. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the close of another exciting edition of Solar Now and the Future with its economic impact on Black America. And until next week, we don't want you to meet us here. We want you to beat us back here on the platform of Solar Now and the Future with its economic impact on Black America. Until next week, we say go in peace as we close another exciting edition of Solar Now and the Future with its economic impact on Black America. And please remember, ladies and gentlemen, we have a GoFundMe link because we're not the needy. We're just the greedy. We're just the needy here on this. We're here working on the shoestring budget that we have to operate and try to bring you this information on a weekly basis. With that being said, until next week,